physical abuse is so blatant, it's right on your face. Emotional abuse is the same. However, with all of this, it is always very hard to escape. Even if you know in your heart that it is wrong, it is hard to escape. And that, again, is dictated by a lot of factors. And you really need help if you want to change your life. I speak this because I have been through it myself, and I had to go through hell to get out of it. So why do I talk of abuse? Sexual, emotional, or psychological? It is because it's very prevalent. It is out there. And I have experienced it myself. Whether people talk about it or not, whether people diminish it or not, I am not a statistician, a psychologist, so I wouldn't know. However, I know for a fact that it is there. And what does it do to you? Whatever the form of abuse is. As a child, it makes you helpless. It makes you feel helpless. Whether it is an emotional abuse, psychological abuse, whatever kind of abuse, sexual abuse, it makes you helpless. And so you just grow to be helpless. And you can either be trapped, growing, clinging on to something, or you want to run away at an early stage of life. Some people make it. Some people become, as my psychologist said, achievers. Some people fall into substance abuse. Some people fall into very addictive, enabling relationships, which they cannot get out of. Some people fall into a nothing life. So it is something that should really be addressed. And what is or how does sexual abuse, psychological abuse, emotional abuse look like? The perpetrator usually, I wouldn't say usually, if the perpetrator was a man and he was physically abusive, then he will be hitting you all the time. And when he does, he will appease you and say, "Oh, I did this because you had to answer me back." That is my ex-husband. "I did this because why do you have to speak back at me? I did this because you don't listen to me. I did this because I don't like the way you are." If it is an emotional abuse, it's constant screaming, it's constant drama, it's constant emotional blackmail, as in like, "Oh, I've been doing this for you. I remodeled your house and how dare you leave me?" It's, "I gave up my career for you." But it is two human beings that agreed, right? Now, if you are the one who gave up the career and you are now emotionally blackmailing your partner, wasn't that your decision to give up your career? Then you should make the change. You should make the change. So There is emotional blackmail, and that is a form of emotional blackmail. I gave up my career for you. I stayed home for you. It can work both ways, man for women. Even for brother, sister, brother. Oh, I can't retire because I'm taking care of my sibling. But why are they really doing that? They're doing that because they like the symbiosis, the addictive symbiosis. The one who is providing feels good about it, feels fulfilled about it. But where is that coming from? It is probably coming from some abuse in the past. What does psychological abuse look like? I'm sure there's hundreds of examples of this, both sexual, emotional, and psychological. But an example of psychological abuse is when the perpetrator, man or woman, will be whispering constantly in your ear, I'm the only one who can love you. I'm the only one who can love you. Do you know that the men that come to you, they only want you for sex, but I'm really the only one who loves you? The sad thing about psychological abuse is that it is so insidious. It is insidious. You don't even know it is happening. You don't know that it is now deep in your psyche, deep in your soul. And by the time you realize, if you are lucky enough to realize and to escape, it is so deep that you may need therapy, or you will just be tortured. You will just be thinking that you are less of a human being than you really are. That is the crux of psychological abuse. I would say the hardest to detect is psychological abuse because, again, very insidious. It is slow. It is continuous. It is stealthy. Physical abuse is so blatant, it's right on your face. Emotional abuse is the same. However, with all of this, it is always very hard to escape. Even if you know in your heart that it is wrong, it is hard to escape. And that, again, is dictated by a lot of factors. And you really need help if you want to change your life. I speak this because I have been through it myself, and I had to go through hell to get out of it. And I feel for the women who have been through it. I don't know if this video is worth releasing, but if I am brave enough, I should release it. I should release it. Cut. And I feel, and I truly feel in my heart, that the only thing that can get you out of that is not intelligence, but it is self-love. You have to come to a point in your life that you love yourself so much that you are willing to give up a lot.